A great question. How do we actually take something like a college prep biology class and apply the principles of universal design for learning? Well, the question was kind of even bigger than that. How do we ensure that students don't need a life skills room and can really access and participate in something like a college prep biology course? Well, this is a really big question, and the answer is kind of complex and kind of simple at the same time. So let's break it down. First of all, at a systems level, we need to do away with life skills rooms. Now, people get all up in arms saying that students need life skills. Absolutely. If you've met any middle schooler or high schooler or even a young person going to college or into their first job, it's like, yeah, they need life skills. So the idea is not that we want to do away with teaching students important things that like life skills. We just don't want to have separate and segregated spaces just dependent upon a person's label or ability or perceived differences. So that's sort of a systems level thing, and you can check the description below and you'll find some resources about how to start doing away with things like life skills. The next part is sort of a mindset shift. Also kind of hard and complex in the sense of, well, how do I really think about a college prep class? What do I think about the content? What's driving the curriculum? Well, from my experience in terms of a college prep class, it's usually already separate or segregated on the other end of the continuum, away from life skills, and saying, if you have sort of this trajectory or this known path, or you've demonstrated particular abilities and you're headed towards college, we're going to give you a leg up. We're going to start that process a little earlier. So the mindset is it's already for a select number of students or types of students or people who have demonstrated particular abilities. So just same argument as life skills as college prep, there's sort of this mindset and systems level connotation of how we differentiate our curriculum. Then within that little bubble, and we could do the same thing for life skills, how do we choose what we're going to teach? And oftentimes the curriculum becomes very prescriptive, very, I'll say, somewhat narrow in the sense of where there's a certain set of skills that we want to ensure have been accomplished in a short amount of time, maybe a year. So we want to make sure that we cover the content and there's a curriculum guiding that. Anytime we rely too much on a curriculum, anytime we rely too much on what a publisher has identified as the scope and sequence, the lesson, the questioning prompts, the activities, it starts to sort of lose its impact, or it creates barriers that don't need to be there. When we think about universal design for learning, not all curriculum and publishers and authors are thinking about the range of your students when they design that content. And so that content has certain objectives or standards that are going to be designed to be met, but not thinking always about the individual student. Increasingly, with tools like artificial intelligence, you can ask some sort of system or bot to say, hey, how can I differentiate this lesson? That's a great idea. You could start with a pre-made curriculum, something that's got standards, some rigidity or narrowness to it. How would I differentiate this based upon these needs or these interests? Okay, so that's kind of this big level answer that we need to do away with life skills rooms, and we need to reconceptualize who college preps are for, what are we teaching, and if it's getting too narrow and too rigid, then we need to say, how can I broaden what we're teaching, how we're teaching it, and what we're expecting students to get out of it. So here comes the